and welcome to the Sacred Light Collective podcast. You are with Ali, and hello, welcome, my dear friends. I know it has been a little while. I have missed a week, which feels kind of surreal because I just feeling this fluidity with time right now, and I realized that a whole week has passed and I hadn't uploaded an episode, but so much is happening, and I know that we're all feeling the energies of the moment. We're feeling the build up to the end of the year, and it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, or who you are feeling the squeeze and the contraction of this end of the year. And I have wrapped up the beautiful Amplify Portal going on now probably a week and a half. And I really just needed to sit in those energies for some time after we finished, because I felt the transmissions and the expansion and the amplification as much as each of the participants did, I'm sure. And so there was a time where I just needed to integrate that, to sit with that, and just allow my body to catch up to the amplified energy, the frequency that was wanting to come through. And as part of that, it was really this beautiful, deeper embodiment, alignment, and connection to my higher self. There was more higher consciousness in my body, and I had some really, what I would probably call the most spontaneous awakenings that I've had or likely to have. Mine have been a very slow burn, I will say. I'm not someone that has had the experience of a spontaneous awakening, but there were a couple of moments during meditation where I experienced this deeper alignment and feeling and connection and opening up, and really felt like I was in conversation with my higher self. And that is, in fact, what my higher self has brought forward for me, is this time that we share together where we have a conversation, where I can ask the questions to get the information or the guidance that I'm seeking. And I actually feel like that maybe in 2024 that will come forward into the podcast in some way, shape, or form, because I really feel like this version of my higher self that I am connecting to and aligning to is really the teacher. She's the wisdom holder. And I feel there's, so much that's coming through that I think that you would also benefit from. So there might be a slight branching off in 2024. There's a lot of creative expansion wanting to come through. And I am just working with time at the moment to enable me to do all of the things that I would like to share and to be in service of. So there are some other elements that want to come forward. I have also been really feeling this pull to share heart awakening and heart expansion activations. That also came about once we wrapped up Amplify. And our very last group call was a really powerful heart activation as well. And that stimulated something for me. And I was really feeling the connection to the Star Mothers Council, particularly coming through to ask me to bring that forward. And so in January 2024, I'm going to be offering a similar format to Amplify, but this will be centered around heart awakening and heart expansion. So a deeper awakening of the heart, a deeper connection to the inner portal of your heart. So that will be something to keep an eye out for if you feel your heart pulling you and calling you to that, because I know that it's something that is here for us and is needed in the collective. And that will be run over some group sessions as well, with an opportunity for a one-on-one, because that really felt like a great mix of being able to bring the group space, the group energies, and to grid that together, and then have the space one-on-one to also just dive into it a little bit more personally. And so that I'm really excited to bring forward alongside Amplify, because that program definitely wants to come back in 2024. I'm yet to work out with spirit what comes first, whether they come side by side or it's one or the other. It feels a little like, in a way, that it's amplify and then it's the heart, but then the heart awakening expansion, I'm feeling that call to bring that forward sooner rather than later. And in the meantime, what I am offering, if you are listening to this episode as this is released, is a group circle for the 1212 energies, because that feels like we're going to come into some heart work there and really support us as we come into the end of 2023, as we are releasing, as the year ends, as we are recalibrating. I have been feeling so much of this build up from the 11:11 as we have been being pushed to amplify our light, to trust our expression and share our expression. As we are stepping through that, that of course is poking at our shadows, at our ego. And so we are really seeing some of the old stuff coming back. It could be physical, also physical health, physical ailments, pain, niggles in the body, and you could be feeling triggered with things that you haven't maybe for a long time, or there's an intensity of them. It feels a little bit, personally, it feels like every which way I look, something is coming forward, and it's really asking us to hold in this space of uncomfortable, to hold in this space with neutrality, to hold in neutrality, and to allow it to be there and to move through and to really feel it. And I know that for a lot of us, it's really hard to feel what's coming up and to want to sit with it in the body, or allow it to come up in the body. And really, that is what is being asked in a majority of the experiences that I'm seeing, hearing, and co-facilitating with, that we're really just being asked to feel it so that we can really let it up and let it out, so we can reset for 2024. Because you may remember that I spoke about, leadership many episodes ago now, but feeling this call to leadership and the understanding of spiritual leadership, or sovereign leadership in a new way. And it's us walking our inner work. It's walking the inner path, isn't it? And showing up to heal ourselves. I don't really like using the word heal, because it's not like there is anything that is broken or needs fixing, but we are bringing the shadow, the dark, the patterns, the conditioning, the experiences that haven't felt so good, that have been here to teach us a lesson, and we're bringing that forward. We're able to bring that forward, and create differently, to receive the value of the lesson, but to let that go. Then, we're so conditioned and ingrained to kind of hold on to everything. And I think that in a lot of one-on-one sessions as well at the moment, what we've really been focused on is, okay, appreciating what the lesson was. I've got the lesson, but now I can let go of everything else. I've taken what I need from it, so I don't need to hold on to it anymore. And really coming also into the heart, where a lot of us have blocked off the heart, and we've put the walls up and the defenses up, and we have trapped that pain in. And so we're keeping ourselves in this cycle of feeling the pain and the intense emotions over and over and over, instead of allowing our hearts to be open, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, keeping our hearts open in those moments to allow it to flow through, to move through. Remembering, energy is in motion, it's in flow, and we're resisting that flow, we're blocking that flow, and we are creating some of those patterns ourselves by blocking and resisting the natural flow. And so again, it's bringing back the awareness, isn't it, of this allowing and surrendering to life happening for us, to life moving through us, to the energy moving through us as well. And allowing more of the light in, right? We've been talking a lot about that through what I've been sharing with Amplify, but also here, what's really been, key for me in 2023 is receiving the knowledge that light is information, that light is knowledge, light is the wisdom, light is truth, and to allow more of that light in. And when I say in, the light is in your heart. So it's allowing the heart to open and allowing more of that light to shine and to feel you and to become your foundational state of being. And as part of that, it requires us to not only allow, to surrender and to trust, but to create to acceptance. And that has been something that landed a lot for me over the last 3 weeks, is really finding acceptance, not just of myself, but acceptance of the unknown, acceptance of the mystery of life, to accept that there will always be what I don't know unfolding, ahead, and how can I allow that how can I allow more to move through me in this energy of acceptance of what is the divine will or the energy, the light, God, source, whatever you want to call it, moving for me, moving through me, moving with me. So can I open to more light, love, and acceptance through this path of acceptance of the unknown and the mystery, accepting that I simply don't need to know everything that's going to happen. But can I allow myself to surrender and trust the higher plan that is moving me? So that has just been some interesting concepts and perspectives and thought-provoking questions that my higher self has been inviting me into. And so I just want to reiterate that again, to invite you into the question of, can I allow life, the experience, whatever it is for you, can I allow this in more acceptance of what is moving for me and with me? Can I open to more light, love, and acceptance? Can I open to this path of acceptance of myself, of life, of divine will, and the higher plan that is moving me? And something that my higher self shared with me about this is the pathway to peace is through the heart. To come back to your heart when peace feels separate or difficult to feel or obtain. Allow your heart to expand and open you to the frequency of peace. To let this radiate and expand and to be amplified through your heart and through your body, through your field. It is imperative you allow the heart to expand, to allow the light to flow through you, to expand the information, the wisdom, the knowledge through your field of frequency, to be the amplifier and the magnet. As you amplify, this attracts more of this frequency to you, and as such continues your ability and power to amplify and embody the frequency as foundational self. And I really wanted to share that with you because what are we all seeking? We are all seeking peace, aren't we? We are all seeking inner peace. At the base of many other things, often I'll say to people, what's your intention for a session? What's your intention in joining a gathering? And there'll be some combination of different words, but ultimately, what we are all seeking can be encapsulated in the frequency of peace. And I feel like that's no mistake, if you like, that is coming forward now too as we enter this holiday season, when the energy of Christmas we often speak of is peace on earth. You know, there is a lot happening in the world at the moment. There is a lot of war consciousness. There is a lot of energy that is not in foundational peace. But something that I really felt was so empowering and powerful and impactful to take from what my higher self shared there was that ability and the remembrance of attracting more of the frequency that you are and that you hold. So, what is it that you are seeking? So, that may not be peace for you, that might be love. You know, that might be another frequency. And it doesn't really matter what that is, but how can you be that frequency of love? How can you be the frequency of peace? How can you allow that to expand through your field to be the amplifier and the magnet, thereby attracting more of that frequency? And remembering too, friends, that this is about creating a ripple effect. So you're not only creating this ripple in your outer world immediate to you, but you are contributing to the greater frequency and energy on the planet. You can go as so far to embody and amplify that frequency of peace, using that as what is here in my example. And you can amplify that to all areas on earth at this time. You can direct that to certain places on earth at this time, to people, to experiences and situations. You can send it to your bank account if you want more peace in your bank account as we roll into this holiday season. So it feels like this beautiful reminder of where we are now and how the impact of the inner work has so much power in the outer world. And again, and I will say this again, when we want to do something on a larger scale, when we want to be of service to the collective, to humanity, to the planet, to the world, whatever it is, it really starts within you. It starts at home, quite literally within you. And can you accept what is? Can you accept the unknown and the mystery? Can you allow more light, more love, more peace, more grace to radiate, to be amplified through you? Can you hold your heart open a little bit more? And this can be challenging too in the holiday season, because maybe you are connecting with family or friends or in places where you don't really feel comfortable expressing your true self, being your true self. That could be stimulating for you just on its own. So I would invite you to sit with how you can allow yourself to remain, to hold, to be in the frequency that you wish to be in those situations. Higher self, show me, how can I be in the frequency of love, of compassion, of grace, and of peace when I am spending the holidays with my family? Help me remember that I am love, peace, grace, compassion, that I am a beacon of the light, of source, of God. Can you feel that frequency now shifting? Can you feel your heart in response to that? Can you feel the power with which this has to actually create your reality? And that's really what I want to leave you with for this episode. I just wanted you to feel into how you are choosing and holding and becoming the frequency that you desire, how you can allow that in a little bit more, how you can create more acceptance of yourself, more love for yourself to enable you to find acceptance and love for the experiences for life around you. And remembering that light is information, knowledge, wisdom. So let the light in. Let God in, let the Creator in, whatever you subscribe to there. Allow that to come into your heart and allow that to hold you, to empower you, to strengthen you as you begin to choose to create and to hold this new frequency that you desire. To take responsibility for your frequency. And I will just add that this is one of the more difficult times of year for a variety of reasons for most people. So be compassionate with yourself. Be graceful with yourself. Love and accept that you are just doing the best that you can, and your best is good enough. Your best is enough. And keep choosing in each moment. Maybe you didn't choose so well, but don't beat yourself up. Just choose differently now. How will you choose to hold that frequency? Perhaps you choose to go out into nature to gather your thoughts, to re-center, realign, to call on your higher self, to call on Gaia to support you. Maybe you go for a walk. Maybe you leave that event or gathering a little bit earlier. Maybe you just call your higher self in to lead and to guide any communication, any boundaries, any frequency, with the intention of it being in love, in compassion, in grace, in peace. I would love to hear how this resonates for you. I would love to, because this was on my heart, and I hope that you find it supportive as well as you move into the holiday season. But most importantly, as we move into the energies of 2024, where we're going to be called into this leadership, this self-mastery. And this is where we lead by how we choose to show up and how we choose to stand in frequency, empower. So thank you, my friends, for sharing with me again in this episode. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're hearing this within the time frame of its release and it's before 12/12 and you would love to join us in the circle for the 12/12 portal energies, I will put a link in the notes below. And as always, the light, the love, the divinity within me honors the light, the love, the divinity within you. Namaste.